Hey, what's going on, everyone? We're going to talk about this article right here. Talk about Ondo Finance. The token is at risk, okay, if the Fed begins cutting interest rates. Why? What will be the cause as to why Ondo, the cryptocurrency, could be impacted negatively if the Fed begins to cut interest rates? Let's go through this article. It was released to the internet on August the 13th, 2014. The Ondo Finance token retreated by over 6% on Tuesday as traders focus on the upcoming U.S. Consumer Price Index or CPI data this week. Ondo was trading at 73.5 cents, down 50% from its highest point this year, bringing its market cap to $1 billion. Now, the biggest macro news of this week, talking about this current week that we are in right now, will be today. The U.S. CPI data, which is crucial to the Federal Reserve's dual mandate. The average estimate among economists is that the headline CPI rose from negative 0.1% in June to 0.2% in July, while the core CPI moved from 0.10 to 0.2. If these estimates are accurate, it will break a 3-month trend where inflation had been retreating. Is increasing. The CPI is expected to remain steady at 3%, while the core CPI is projected to have slightly decreased to 3.2%. We're talking about inflation. These figures are still above the Federal Reserve target of 2%, suggesting that inflation is proving more stubborn than expected. Now, understand the Federal Reserve don't have a lot of tools in a toolbox at their disposal to try to help rein in inflation. Okay, one of them is to cut interest rates to try to maintain interest rates from going crazy and increasing. Inflation. They have the ability to increase, decrease, try to find a nice medium in between to make sure that inflation doesn't go crazy. They can try to destroy dollars. They can try to buy more of their own dollars to take it out of circulation. They can even issue more debt to try to allow the economy to continue to move forward without having massive layoffs, without companies not making enough money to keep the economy afloat. Despite this, the Fed seems to be taking a labor first approach, focusing on the deteriorating job market while the unemployment rate rises to 4.3%. As a result, the odds of a Fed rate cut in September, next 2 weeks, have increased in recent weeks. The debate now centers on the size of the cut. Like pretty much everyone is, hey, yeah, there's going to be a rate cut, but we just don't know if it's going to be 0.25%, 0.5%, a full percent. With the CME Fed Watch showing a 51% probability of a 0.5% cut, and the remainder predicting only a 0.25% reduction. That's where it's sitting at right now, 51%, half and half. But then you look at this article from Market Watch. Fed's Bostic downplays recession fears, says interest rate cut is coming. Quote, is coming. The article that we just talked about with Ondo is saying that that's going to hurt this cryptocurrency. Federal Reserve interest rate cuts will impact all cryptocurrencies and stocks, but Ondo Finance may be particularly vulnerable due to its business model, which relies heavily on interest rates. That's how people are able to make money with Ondo Finance, those who invest in this currency. Ondo provides a tokenization platform where investors can purchase US dollar yield and US Treasury assets. Holders of USDY and OUSG earn rewards every month. So when the Fed comes and cut interest rates, it's going to cut how much money or the rewards these individuals or investors make. USDY has an annual return rate of 5.35%, while OUSG yields only 4.96%. making them more attractive than traditional stablecoins like Tether and USDC. These yields are generated by investing in bank deposits and short-term U.S. treasuries. Okay. Given this, talking about the prospect of the Fed cutting interest rates, Ondo's ecosystem could shrink when the Fed starts cutting interest rates, as investors may seek higher yielding assets somewhere else. It's all about making bread and where you got to go get it. Now, Fed Bostic, if the economy evolves as I expect, you all will have bigger smiles on your face by the end of the year. Atlanta Fed president tells finance conference. Talk about a looming recession in the United States is overblown. Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic said Tuesday, quote, "A recession is not in my outlook," end quote. There is still enough momentum in the economy where we can see slowing and not see the labor market deteriorate to a level of considerable concern, end quote. Bostic said during a discussion at the Conference of African American Financial Professionals in Atlanta. Bostic noted that business leaders have told him that they are not planning, quote, a lot of layoffs. Now, when people, especially in higher positions who have authority and control to really affect the economy, they always come out with statements like, oh, a recession is not in my outlook. Of course it's not. Because if you were to blatantly come out and say that, you already know that that would move markets. So that's why you got these other entities, websites, opinionated people trying to, what are the chances of the Fed cutting interest rates? So they had to parse through all of these words that the Fed presidents talk about at their conferences, at their board meetings, to see, okay, what's the likelihood of this really occurring? Yeah, Fed Bostic said that he's not looking for a recession, but the last time that he spoke, he said this. So then they take all of the communication, all of the verbal cues from Bostic, put it in some type of AI machine, and then try to generate, okay, what's the probabilities of us seeing a rate cut? Quote, right now, we're not hearing a lot of layoffs. We're not hearing a lot of hiring. Everyone is in hold mode, he said, adding that employers think they can meet their demand with their existing workforce. As long as that continues, I think we will be in a good place. Bostic continued to project an interest rate cut from the Federal Reserve by the end of the year. Quote, it is coming. I think we will get there. End quote, he said. If the economy evolves as I expect, you all will have big smiles on your face by the end of the year. Yeah, they want a rate cut so the stock market can continue to go up. Because it shows that the Fed is in a bad position in trying to rein in their 2% inflation target. It would be really bad if we started cutting rates and then had to turn around and raise them again. That would raise all sorts of uncertainty, he said. It'll show that they don't have a grasp on reining in inflation. Like you come in 1 month or 1 quarter, come in and cut interest rate, only to turn back around and raise it again. Like that's an economy that is fluttering. That is an economy that people can't properly plan their business expenses, their balance sheets. You know, they have no idea, okay, how do we move through this type of environment when we don't have certainty, at least some type of certainty, to where we can actually plan for the future. If the Fed begins to cut, then they raise, then they cut, then they raise, that's going to raise a whole lot of doubt in people's mind, especially businesses, to where you might see increased layoffs. You might see the increased talking about a recession, a depression, all because of this flip-flopping that the Federal Reserve is doing with trying to rein in inflation. They're the cause of the problem, while at the same time they're trying to solve the problem. It's a juggling act between them. And the crazy part is that the economy is the balls that's in their hands that they're trying to maneuver and make sure that they don't allow to drop. And the crazy part is that you and I are a part of those balls. Pause. So let's get back to the price prediction for Ondo Finance. All right. And it's been a hard move into the market in Ondo. I'm not surprised to see this cryptocurrency collapse the way that it has. Why? Because of this. Okay. Because of that. So this trend right here is no longer applicable because on August the 2nd, price broke below it. So we can cut that out the way. And if the Fed cuts interest rates, we may see Ondo continue to go a lot lower in price. So our last price prediction did not bode well. It did not go right. It did not even go right. We didn't have one day to where the market even went into profit at all, which is a bad thing. So chop this one up. The market did not move the direction in which we expected, which will continue to happen at times. We just move forward and look for the next play. This buy zone right here is no longer valid neither. So where did the buyers come in at into the market in Ondo? That's where they came in at, right around here. Okay. So this is the most valid, most recent area that we know buyers are here. So as long as the price stays above this level, 48, 49 and a half cents, we're golden. We know that the market, if anything, is just going to consolidate. Now, what we're going to do is create sell zones now. Okay. So this is a sell zone here. And this area right here is even a sell zone. Scary times. Because the market here in Ondo is just stair-stepping its way down. Look at all these sell zones that the market in Ondo has to break above in order to become more bullish. In order for price to continue to go higher, it has to break these sell zones. It'll have to do something of that sort. Okay. So right now, here it is on the 2-day chart. Okay. How do you feel about it? You feel bullish? Is this a buying opportunity or is this still a wait and see? Currently, it's not a buying opportunity because this trend is still trending down. You guys can see that this is like a upside V. Okay. We ran up. Now we're coming right back down. Real simple. So we might just get a reprieve, small move to the upside in price if you're looking for the market to trend that direction. But all in all, let's not lose sight of what this near-term trend looks like. It's still kind of bearish. Okay. And given maybe in September of a rate cut into the market and the Fed cutting the interest rates, to have a major impact on the price progression of this currency. Okay. So as of right now, yes, market looks kind of bullish, but I'm not overly optimistic that it's going to remain that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to continue to play some of this weakness in the market in Ondo. Okay. Maybe come back down to test this buy zone. That's what I'm looking forward to. And especially if we see this market in Ondo hold to this trend. If we break this downtrend line to the upside, then we'll have to do another video and say that apparently the market is more bullish than what we anticipated. And we're going to continue to look forward to the market go that direction. But as of right now, the market has spoken. And it looks like it's even having problems trying to break out right now. So this is what we're going to look right now. Let me look at this on the weekly chart first. Okay, so the buyers did step in last week. Here it is on the 2 weeks chart. Here it is on the 3 and the 5 and the monthly. Okay. So yeah, I think in the near term, short term, the market is looking to go higher. But if I don't see the market break this sell zone right here around $1, then I think there's still a likelihood of the market continuing to trend down. But we'll see. Go ahead and give me your thoughts. Hit that like button, and also subscribe. Make sure you maintain your profitability. And as always, trade different.